Yeah, so this is really a brief advert for our object-based audio drama dataset, and those of you who were with us last night would have heard a much less brief advert for the object-based audio drama dataset. So I guess just to kind of remotivate. So we've understood through this sequence of through the whole project and then through the talks that object-based audio has got great potential for listener experiences in the home. In our project, we kind of identified a need for professionally produced content, so for perceptual testing, for evaluating systems, I guess objectively and subjectively, and for demonstrating all of the novel technologies which I guess at that stage we were confident would come out of the project, and it turns out that they have. So that's good. And so the project commissioned 3 object-based audio drama scenes. And I guess a really important point to make about this is that we really did commission them from the ground up. So we kind of, among our projects, we tried to identify what features of object-based audio would we like this content to show off. And then we involved a scriptwriter, Shelley, and a sound designer, Eloise, who spoke yesterday. To make those kind of visions of what we thought might be a good thing to show a reality. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to give a brief overview of the scenes and a kind of short introduction to how they were recorded and mixed. Okay, so there are 3 scenes. First one is family. So this is a domestic drama. It's set in a house. There's a washing machine on and everything, and there's dialogue with characters around the home. Someone's in the attic at one point, and people are on the stairs. So the main challenge of this scene was to create that sense of convincing home acoustics, movement and height. Okay, and then the second scene is a protest scene. So this begins, it depicts a protest from the perspective of staff in a bank. It starts inside the bank lobby, a kind of old-fashioned, reverberant bank, and they're kind of discussing what to do, and then they kind of open the big, heavy bank doors and move outside, and we get this kind of explosion of like immersive sound. All the Eloise said there's a helicopter, there's crowd everywhere, which was actually just 15 students layered a lot, as I found out yesterday. So we have creating these different acoustics, different reverbs, how to create that sound atmosphere. And then it happened in the autumn forest, will be something that many of you have heard. So we have a scenario of children playing in a forest. One of them meets a monster. There's music, there's monster effects, there's a stream and stuff. So this is the selection of scenes. They cover a kind of a range of audio-only genres. So we recorded all of the kind of dialogue in the studio at Media City. So I didn't actually have a photo of the semi-anechoic chamber where most of the dialogue was recorded, but here we have a picture of a microphone array. So this helped the actors get their bearings. They kind of performed to this microphone array. It helped them kind of perform naturally, and they were wearing lapel mics, which were actually used for the dialogue. The spatial array here was used for kind of reference in mixing. And then also there was some. We visited a forest in Cheshire and set up this array of microphones kind of spaced out to record the ambient sounds. And then Eloise worked very hard with the team at BBC to produce the content. So it was mixed in the listening room. There's a picture of it. There were some people in there and some computers as well, I think. And so a kind of high spec listening room. So standard compliant 32 loudspeaker setup. And at that point, we hadn't built all these nice production tools that we've been showing today. So we kind of had this bespoke pipeline using Pro Tools and Nuendo, and then our own S3A renderer via a kind of OSC metadata stream. But of course, as you've seen, this content can be reproduced on all sorts of different layouts. So they have it. They're freely available for download from our website. They're formatted as broadcast WAV files with audio definition model compliant metadata. So that's a kind of available standard. And just again to credit Shelley and Eloise. And then there's a reference from the AES Paris Convention, which describes what I've just said in slightly more detail.